So I wanted to do something like this before, but I didn't have the opportunity because by the time I thought of it, Journey Together was already out. Now with the newest English set of Destined Rivals finally out, we have a chance to take an early look and see what some of these cards are. And just as a heads up, I don't own any of this. Justin Basil did all the translation for this, so thank you, Justin Basil, for making this translations list. And I think what is fair is that I go one at a time and give on a scale of 1 to 10. Or not 1 to 10. 1 to 5. 1 to 5. 5 being absolutely usable. You should be playing this in this meta. 1, don't try it. Starting off, we have Ethan's Pincer. Vice Crippling does 20 damage, about 1 point return, does 70 damage. If any of Ethan's Pokemon were knocked out from damage from an opponent's Pokemon during their last turn, does 100 more damage. 3 colorless energy. Reversal can't get affected by it. It's a pretty solid return if the enemy has damage, so I'd say 2. Yanma and Yan Mega Whirlwind switch our opponent's active Pokemon to the bench. It's 70 HP, which is pretty strong for a Yanma, actually. And 280 on Yan Mega EX. Buzz Boost. Once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from your bench to the active, you may search your deck for 3 basic grass energy and attach them to this Pokemon. And with Jet Cyclone for 4 energies, 3 grass, 1 colorless, do 210 and move 3 energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench. So it's interesting because it kind of works like Iron Leaves. You get the energies moved up to the front. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this a 3. It could be usable, but you got to figure out how to move those energies all around. It's odd, but it can work. Pineco, I assume it's going to be linked with Fortress, so we're going to do that later. Shroomish and Breloom. Breloom, 30 damage and flip a coin. Does 50 more for each head. Mega Drain, 90 and heals for 30. I'm going to probably say like 1. No one's going to use this. Cynthia's Rosalia and Cynthia's Roserade. We really want to look at the Roserade here. Glory Yell. Your Cynthia's Pokemon attacks do 30 more damage to your opponent's active. That's pretty good. That is essentially a Hop Snorlax right there. So I would say 4 out of 5, especially for Cynthia's Pokemon, since it's mainly effective. So you want to be running these in Cynthia's. Actually, 5 out of 5. Especially if you're running the Cynthia deck, this is what you're going to be playing. Mo Rotom, Reaping Mower does 20, discard a stadium in play. Gadget Show times 30 damage for each Pokemon tool attached to all of your Pokemon. So max would be 180. That's not bad. I'll give that a 3 out of 5. I could see that in some grass decks, especially the first one. It's basically a better version of Blazing Stadium. Shaman, Flower Curtain, prevent all damage done to your bench Pokemon without a rule box. That is actually pretty good. Especially since we don't have a bench protector anymore since Manaphy got rotated out from Brilliant Stars. Shaman is an excellent front runner here. I give that a 4.5 out of 5. A lot of good like non-EX decks. Dipplin and Grookey from Twilight Masquerade or Slowking. Especially like Slowking, because those guys can get one-shotted easily from bench snipers. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Dwebble and Crustle. Dwebble has the Ascension ability, and Crustle, Mysterious Stone House. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon EX. So, essentially, it is basically like Aegislash. Great Scissors. Its damage isn't affected by effects. It's literally the same thing, except it's 3 energies instead of 2. I mean, I give that a 3 out of 5. I could probably play something like that, but with 3 energies, it's going to be difficult. All right, we have Fomantis and Lurantis, excuse me. Flower Cutting Dance, 130. Discard 2 basic grass energy from your hand. If you don't, this attack does nothing. For 1 energy. Odd, but okay. I'll give that a 1.5 out of 5. Here we go. Here's some Team Rockets. Team Rockets Blipbug. Where's Dottler and Orbeetle? Well, searching eye, look at your opponent's face down. That's a unique one. I like that. I'll give that a 4 out of 5 out of its own. That's cool. Applin, Dipplin, and Hydrapple. I do remember this. Hydrapple, you have to discard 6 grass energy from your hand in order to knock out your opponent's active Pokemon. If you can't, does nothing. But you can do Whip Smash for 140. I give it 4 out of 5. if you can somehow get 6 grass energies in your hand. I mean, same. We might have to actually, like... I might figure out a way to play this. I just might. Team Rocket's Tarantula and Spidops. 30 damage, just into itself. Charging up. Once during your turn, you attach a basic energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon. And Rocket Rush does 30 more damage for each of your Rocket's Pokemon in play. Each of mine. So again, I'm doing a max of 180. So I'll give that a 3.5 out of 5. Could be useful. It's a one-shotting Pokemon, so it's pretty good. Smoliv, Doliv, and Arbalava. Arbalava EX Oil Machine Gun. Choose one of your opponent's Pokemon 6 times and do 20 damage to it. If you can choose the same Pokemon more, you can choose the same Pokemon more than once. This effect damage isn't affected by weakness or resistance. And Aroma Shot 160. This Pokemon covers from all conditions. Interesting. With the health from Smoliv and Doliv, I mean, this is like a 2.25 out of 5. I mean, I don't think you're going to see Arbalva. It's not a good HP for stage 2, you know. So, unfortunately, not a good one. We're going to move on from that. They reprinted the Raylor. Raylor from Surging Sparks is back in here. But we have our first Rabsca EX, which is cool. Upside down draw, 3 cards from the bottom of your deck. Okay. And Psychic, 20 damage plus 90 for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Okay, actually, hold on a minute. This thing can one-shot. Oh my god, it can one-shot Zard without an issue. It's weak to grass. 250 health. It's not the best for a stage 1. But we can buff that out with like Hero Escape or something. Oh my god. For 3 energies. That's the same. Run it in Terra Box. Oh my goodness. You play that against... Oh my god, wait. Yeah, if you have like... Oh my god, I'm thinking about this. I'll give this a 3.75 out of 5 just because the health is a little odd. But you definitely need a strong enough Raylor. And we have a regular Teal Mask Ogre Pond. Look at that. Grass Dance. Search deck for basic grass energy attached to one of your Pokemon. And Ogre Hammer. 120. 1.5 out of 5. Sorry. Growlithe and Arcanine. Arcanine, Punishing Fangs. Plus 100 damage plus if your opponent's active Pokemon is a Dark type. Does 100 more? Okay. 2 out of 5. Ponyta and Rapidash. Rapidash has the ability, once in your turn, you may draw a card. So it is the same thing as Dodrio from Mew, except this doesn't do damage to itself, which is very good. Team Rocket's Moltres EX, and we have Archer on the front here. Is that Archer? It looks like Archer. Flame Screen, 110. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 50 less damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance. Evil Burn, discard a Team Rocket's energy from this Pokemon. If you do discard your opponent's active Pokemon and all attached cards. Oh my god. What? You discard it? Okay. It's strange. The Flame Screen is unique, but the energy is way too high, and especially with its low HP at 220. It's not 210, but it's 220. I'm going to give this a 3.25. The Evil Burn is definitely good. We'll have to take a look at Team Rocket energy, too. Ethan, Cyndaquil, Quilava, and Typhlosion. Adventuring Bound. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for an Ethan's Adventure. Reveal it and put it in your hand and shuffle your deck. Once during my turn. That's crazy. I can do that whenever I want. Okay. Ethan's Typhlosion, Buddy Blast, 40 plus 60 for each Ethan's Adventure in your discard pile. Maximum of 280. Not bad. For 1 energy. I give this a 4 out of 5. Pretty good and consistent damage. 170 HP for a stage 2 non-EX. And for 1 energy cost for the main attack. Very, very good here. Ethan's Slugma and Ethan's Macargo. Ability, Melt and Flow. If this Pokemon has no energy attached, it has no retreat cost. In Lava Burst, discard up to 5 energy from this Pokemon. It does 70 for each way. I mean, for 3 energy to do that, it's not really worth it, so I'll give it a 2 out of 5. Possible use, but I don't think it's really going to be good. Team Rocket's Houndour in Houndoom. Malicious Embers, your opponent's active Pokemon is now Burning Confused, and Scorching Fire, 120, and discard an energy from this Pokemon. 1.5 out of 5. Not really much use for it. Ethan's Ho-Oh EX. Once during your turn, you may attach 2 basic fire energy from your hand to one of your benched Ethan's Pokemon. So, okay, so here's a good setup for my cargo then. You can use that for my cargo. And then Shining Feathers 160 and Heal 50 from each of your Pokemon. Amazing. I'll give that a 4 out of 5. Pretty good. Torchic, Combuskin, and Blaziken. Inferno Legs. Really? Discard 2 energy from this Pokemon, and this attack also does 120 to one of your opponent's benched. Okay. Interesting. I'm not going to say it's going to have too much of use, so I'll say 2.25 out of 5. That makes sense, I think. Heat Rotom. Same thing as the other one. Gadget Show and all that. I mean, I would say 3 out of 5. Pretty good use. Heart Flame Mask Ogrepawn. Same thing as the other one, but the Searing Flame does 80 damage to your opponent's attack, and it's now burned. Again, like a 1 out of 5, 1.5. Misty Psyduck. Okay. We had the Slapstick Jump. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may discard the bottom card of your deck. If you do, discard all cards attached to this Pokemon and put it on top of your deck. Huh? So confused. Odd. I don't really want to give a score, but I'll give it a 2.5 out of 5 because I don't know what this is going to be used for. Misty Staryu and Starmie. Misty Starmie, Sudden Flash, 60 damage. If this Pokemon evolved from Misty Staryu during this turn, does 80 more damage. 1.5, maybe 1.75 out of 5. You're not going to get much use of it out of the first turn unless you Devo yourself somehow. Misty's Magikarp and Misty's Gyarados. Incredible Dive. As long as this Pokemon is on your bench, prevent all damage from and effects of attacks from opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon. So it is safe from Dragapult, because the damage counters are an effect of Phantom Dive. That is insane. And Misty's Gyarados, Splashing Panic, 70 damage. Discard the top 7 cards of your deck. Does 70 times for the amount of Misty's... Oh... All right. A little optimistic. 3.9 out of 5. Could be very good. Misty's Lapras. Swim together. Search your deck for 3 Misty's Pokemon. Reveal them, put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck. Interesting. Team Rocket's Articuno. Frozen Resistance Veil. Prevents all effects used by your opponent's Pokemon done to your basic Team Rocket's Pokemon. Interesting. Okay, so again, also prevents effects. That's good. Dark Frost, 60 plus. If this Pokemon has Team Rocket's energy attached to 60 more damage. Okay. 3 out of 5. Perhaps we see some use for the Resistance Veil. Cynthia's Phoebus Undulate. I'm not going to read into that. Cynthia's Milotic. Aqua Split, 60 damage. Does 30 to my opponent's bench Pokemon. Very nice. Not too much use of it. 2 out of 5. We have Huntail and Gorbis. Okay, all right. You don't really see Gorbis and Huntail that often. Huntail, diving catch ability. Whenever one of your water Pokemon is knocked out from damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, you may put all water energy attached to your Pokemon into your hand instead of your discard pile. And then we have Hydro Splash for 80. Not bad. Gorbis, Crescendo Wave, 30 damage. Does 30 for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. Before doing damage, you may attach any number of basic water energy from your hand. So you can automatically put however much water energy you have in your hand onto Gorbis. Huh. Only 90 health. I'll give that a 3.5 out of 5. For both Huntail and Gorbis. They both work really well together. I like it. It's nice. I'm going to talk about that later. But Floatzel, 140. Can attack next turn. 1 out of 5. Snover and Abomasnow. Freezing Timber, 120. This Pokemon has 2 or more grass. So here's the issue. You need 5 energies in order for this to take effect. So it really doesn't... Oh, a Tomokazu Kamiya card. That's nice. Sorry. So, unfortunately, I'm going to give this like a 1 out of 5. You need 5 energies in order to make this work, and it's only 240. It's not enough. Wash Rotom, Wash Cycle, Heal 10 from each of your Pokemon. We get it. Arrokuda and Barrascuda. Barrascuda, 60. Flip a coin if heads during your opponent's next turn. Prevent all effects of attacks, including damage, done to this Pokemon. 2 out of 5. Not going to really use it. It's a coin change to ball. Oh, Say Titan EX. Hi, buddy. Snow Cover. Whenever your opponent plays an item or supporter card from your hand, prevent all effects of that card done to this Pokemon and Crush Press 140. You may discard a stadium in play. If you do, it does 140 more. The ability is interesting. Snow cover. I just don't like the attack. You need consistent stadiums. 2.5 out of 5. Good damage, but it's not enough. Dondozo EX. Tsunami Reversal does 10 more for each damage counter. And for a basic being 260, that's pretty freaking good. In Dynamic Dive, 120 may do 120 more. If you do this, Pokemon does 50 damage to itself. 3 out of 5. I like the Tsunami Reversal. It's basically the same as Arcanine, but I think this almost has the same amount of health. So it's interesting. I'll keep it in mind. Wellspring Max Cocoon 1. It's the same as the others. Electabuzz and Electivire EX. Dual Bolt 50 to 2 of my opponent's Pokemon. And High Voltage Press. 180 if this Pokemon has at least 2 extra energy attached, including in addition to this attack's cost. Does 100 more. 280. You'd have to get some energy electric generators for 5 energies. I'll be optimistic. 3 out of 5. It's 280 health. It's not bad for stage 1. Right. Team Rocket Zapdos, Jamming Wing, 30 damage. You may move an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon on one of their bench. Dark Thunder. Okay, yeah, that's the same thing as the other one. Ethan's Pichu, Sparking Draw, 30 damage and draw a card. So, you can not only knock out your opponent's Badoo, but draw a card. 5 out of 5. We're going to see this thing. I guarantee it. New meta. Team Rocket's Mareep. Search your deck for an item card, reveal and put it in your hand. Thundershock. The Ampharos. Darkest Impulse. If you have Team Rocket's Ampharos in play, whenever your opponent plays a Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of their Pokemon during the turn, put 4 damage counters on that Pokemon. The effect of Darkest Impulse does not stack. Okay, so I can't have more than 2 Ampharos doing it. Interesting. 3 out of 5. I like the ability. Headbolt 140. Although the 2 3/4. I just saw the health and the damage. Electrike, and that's a nice art. That's an art I would collect. Main Extract, Flash Impact, 120 does 40 damage to one of my bench. 1 out of 5. Rotom, Astonish, 20 damage. Choose a random card from your opponent's hand, reveals it, shuffles it back into their deck, and Gadget Show again. You know what? You're gonna be the only one that's gonna go above. Well, it's the same as the rest. Whatever. Except 0.25 above. Doesn't matter. Zeraora, Thunder Bliss, discard all energy from this Pokemon. And this does 210 to one of my opponent's benched EX. Thing is, I have to avoid Terras, because Terras are immune to bench damage. That's nuts. 3 energies, 2.5 out of 5. It's getting there. Team Rocket's Hypno. Bench Manipulation 80 times. Your opponent flips a coin for each of their bench Pokemon. Does 80 damage for each Tails. 80 damage for each Tails? Okay, for 3 energy, this might be something, because it's more often you get Tails than Heads, especially in Pokemon Live, TCG Live, right? We might try this. 130? That's more health than Slowking for stage 1. 3 out of 5. That's pretty good. I like that. Oh, here's the big boy. Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX, Power Saver. This Pokemon can't attack unless you have 4 or more Team Rocket's Pokemon in play. Okay, there's a little bit of a delay. That's all right. But we have the Eraser Ball. 160. You may discard 2 energy from your opponent's bench 2 energy from your bench Pokemon, and a 60 for each card you discarded in this way. So I'm thinking like Xatu would be really good because it's psychic. I feel like this would be pretty good. Okay. It's pretty promising for a basic 280 HP. I just realized this. 280 HP on a non-basic. It has the same amount of health as Say Titan. 4.5 out of 5. This could be like top 5 meta. Team Rocket's Wobbuffet. That's silly. I like it. 3 out of 5. Steven's Baltoy and Claydol, Summoning Sign. Search deck for 2 basic Seas Pokemon. Put them onto your bench. That's not bad. Steven's Claydol, Eerie Light. Clayblast 220. Discard all energy. Claydol's always been a weird card. Its moves are either really interesting and complex, or they don't do much. So I'm going to say 1 out of 5. Team Rocket's Chingling. I haven't seen Chingling in so long. Ringing Noise, discard a random card from your opponent's hand. And this is, again, they're going off the, the basics with 30 HP that have no retreat and a free attack. Stevens Carbink. Oh, I forgot to rate. Like a 2.5 out of 5. It's not bad. Stevens Carbink, Stone Palace. As long as this Pokemon is on the bench, each year Stevens Pokemon take 30 less damage from attacks from opponents. Nice. I like it. Who took 30 less in the last one? I can't remember. I don't think it was anybody. Team Rocket's Mimikyu. Gem Mimicry. Choose an attack from your opponent's active Terra. That's not bad. Oh, sorry, for this one. 4 out of 5. That's pretty good. Also 4 out of 5 for this one. A lot of Terras, really strong abilities. Oh, here we go. Dottler and Orbeetle. Top 5 cards of your opponent's deck, put it back in any order. Team Rocket's Orbeetle, Rocket Brain. As often as you select during your turn, you may move 1 damage counters from Team Rocket's Pokemon to another one of my Pokemon. So that could really work with, like, Wobbuffet. Interesting. Psychic, 40 damage, 40 more for each energy attached to your opponents. 3.5 out of 5. Could be experimental. We like it. Oh my god, we just started fighting. I'm 23 minutes in. I may have to speed this up, guys. Mankey, Primeape, and Annihilate. Vessel of Rage. If this Pokemon has 2 or more damage counters on it, attacks used by this Pokemon do 120 more. Impact Blow does 160 and can't use Impact Blow next turn. Here's the thing. We can use Relicanth. You can use Relicanth, drag off, switch one of your opponent, does 30 more. That does 120 if I have damage. So that's 150. That's incredible. I'll give this a 4 out of 5. Especially with the idea of Relicanth might make this into a deck. Who knows? Ethan's Sudowoodo. Attempt Mimicry. Flip a coin if heads. Choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon and use this as an attack. It's risky. But maybe. Possibly. Team Rocket's Larvitar, Pupitar, and Tyranitar. Explosive Awakening, 30 damage. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice, actually. Wow. I like that. What do we got for Tyranitar? Sandstream. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, put 2 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon. During... Oh my god. Can you stack that with Frostlass? Are you kidding me right now? That's nuts. Breakthrough, 180. Discard an energy for your opponent's active Pokemon. Now, we can combo this with perhaps some other Pokemon. Frostlass, Munkidori with this. That's really good. 4 out of 5. This could be new combo meta right here. Nose Pass and Probopass. Probopass, 70 plus. If you have Stadium Play, does 70 more. 1. I'm sorry, Probopass. No one's going to give you an EX for a while. Medicham, Harmonious Disposition, 50 damage, plus if this Pokemon is in your active, have the same amount of energy attached, does 120 more if I have the same amount of energy attached as my opponent's active. 3 out of 5. Especially get set up early on your turn 2. That's nuts. Regigigas, nothing to write home about. I mean, it's 4 energy, 230. 2 out of 5. Here we go. Gibble, Gabite, and Cynthia's Garchomp. King's Call. Once you're in your turn, to be search deck for Cynthia's Pokemon, reveal it, put it in your hand, and then shuffle your deck. And Cynthia's Garchomp, Spiral Dive, 100, and then draw until I have 6 in my hand. Dragon Buster, 260, discard all energy. And since we're doing more with a Roselia, we would be doing 290. And we can get these back if we want to use, like, Blaziken or Garganacl. That'd be pretty good. 4.5 out of 5. Alright, we have Hippopotas and Hippowdon. Great Sandstorm, 150, does 40 to each bench Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. Oh, that has any damage counters on it. So if I don't have any damage counters on my Pokemon, that doesn't affect me. Okay, also something to think about. 3 out of 5. Mudbrain, Mudsdale. Mudsdale, Mudcoat, 30 less damage. Heavy Impact, 130, 1.5. It'll be good in pre-release. Arvin's Toedscool and Toedscruel. Pull in, switch one of your opponent's benches to active Reckless Charge, 1 out of 5. Sorry, Arvin, your Pokemon still suck. Cornerstone Mask Oakapon. Mountain Ramming, 100, discard a top card of your opponent's deck. Team Rocket's Ekans and Arbok. Intimidating Glare. If this Pokemon is in the active, your opponent can't play any Pokemon that has an ability from their hand. Excluding Team Rocket's Pokemon. Nuts. Actually nuts. Does 30 to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. I see so many combos with Frostlass and Monkey Dory. It's insane. 4 out of 5. So many Pokemon have abilities. There is no way that you're going to get through it easy. Oh my god. And it's not just EX, it's all Pokemon with abilities besides Team Rocket. Oh my god. Insane. 4.5 out of 5. Insane. And it's 30 HP. Or on 30 HP. That's pretty good for stage 1. Take it. Team Rocket's Nidoran, Nidorina, Nidoqueen. Dark Awaiting. Choose 2 of your Dark Pokemon for each of those Dark Pokemon. So reject that it calls from that. Evolves from it and put it on there. So I can choose Nidorina itself. Interesting. And Nidoqueen, Love Impact, 160. If you have any benched Pokemon with Nidoqueen in his name, Nidoking in his name does 120 more. I like the combos with Nidorina. Because we're about to see Nidoran, Nidorino, and Nidoking EX. Nidorino's Horning Gouge, 160. If my opponent's active opponent does 60 more. But 3 energies. Dirty Horn, 100. If my opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. 8 damage counters instead of 1. And if I have an extra energy, I can do King's Impact for 240. Honestly, really good. I think I will give it 4 out of 5. Its poison is all the rage right now. So Dirty Horn will do essentially 260 within the span of a round, right? Back and forth. I hit 180, poison goes on, and then hits for 8, right? Then next turn, if they can't get it out of the active, another 8 hits, 260. Incredible. 4 out of 5. Team Rocket, Zubat, and Golbat. Sneaky Bite. When you play this Pokemon from your hand, evolve on your Pokemon during your turn. 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. Confuse Ray, 30 damage, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. But we have Team Rocket's Crobat EX. Ability, Bite About. When you play this Pokemon from your hand, evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn. We put 2 damage counters on 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. And Assassin's Return 120, and we put this Pokemon in your hand. Discard all attached cards. I think that's 2 out of 5. Not really good unless you know what you can do with Bite About. If you can get those damage counters on the correct way. Team Rocket's Grimer and Muck. Corrosive Sludge. At the end of your opponent's next turn, discard a defending Oh. Interesting. Team Rocket's Muck. Sticky Mess. 40 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused and they can't retreat during next turn. Venom Hazard. 100 more damage for each special edition. Okay. So it's kind of like Cradily from Stellar Crown. 100 more for each special condition. Alright. Not bad. I'll give it 2 out of 5. Excuse me. Team Rocket's Coughing. Alert Smog. If this Pokemon is in the active spot and is damaged by an attack from an opponent's Pokemon, even if it's knocked out, search for 2 Pokemon with coughing in their name and put them on their bench. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. This could save. Like, if you only got coughing out and your opponent knocks it out, you bring those 2 out immediately. Incredible. Team Rocket's Wheezing. On explosion 40 times for each Pokemon in play with coughing or wheezing in its name. 2.5 out of 5. Most likely it's going to be good on pre-release days. Team Rocket's Murkrow. Swindle. Search your deck for a supporter card. Put it in your hand and shuffle your deck. Choose one of your opponent's attacks. Oh, they can't use it. Look at 2.5 out of 5. It's not bad. Sneasel. Backstab. 20 to 1 of your opponent's bench Pokemon for each damage counter already on that Pokemon. 2.5 out of 5. Cynthia's Spiritomb Raging Curse does 10 for each damage counter on your bench. Cynthia's Pokemon. 3.75 out of 5. Pretty good. Sharp Nail. Not really. Marnie's Light Purge. Ooh. Okay, so that's a little better. 2.5 out of 5. Marnie's Scraggy and Scrafty. Oh my god, that's high energy cost for a Scraggy. 1 out of 5 for both. Marnie's Impotent, Morgrim, and Grimmsnarl EX. Punk Up. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve on your Pokemon during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 5 basic Dark Energies and attach them to your Marnie's Pokemon any way you like. And Shadow Punch for 2 Dark Energies, 180, and does 30 to 1 of your opponent's bench. 3.25 out of 5. Gets you set up pretty good, say that. Marty's more Pico, 20 damage. This does 40 more for each Dark Energy attached to this Pokemon. So, it could do 140, basically. Like 2 out of... 1 1/4 out of 5. Arvin's Mabosstiff, 30. And if this Pokemon has no damage counters, it's 120 more. 1 out of 5. It's still not good enough. Oh, Fortress! Iron Shake, 20 damage. Move any number of metal energy from your Pokemon to your other Pokemon in any way you like. Hurricane Needle, 80 damage for each heads. And we flip 4 coins. Interesting. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. 1 out of 5. Ain't no one gonna flip coins in this game. Sorry. Next we have 2 Skarmory, Stevens and regular Skarmory. Regular Skarmory, Roost, heal 50 for this Pokemon. It can't retreat. And Metal Claw for 60. Steven Skarmory, Razor Wing for 30. And Sonic Double, 50 to... Well, Steven Skarmory is definitely better, but I wish I had more energy, less energies. 2 out of 5. Now, I already know these, so I'm going to go over this one quickly here. You can search for a basic Psychic and a basic Metal Energy, and you can attach them to your Pokemon, Psychic or Metal Pokemon any way you like and shuffle your deck. And I can also do Metal Stomp for 200. Not bad. 3.5 out of 5. You just gotta get set up. Zamazenta, Strong Bash, 70 damage during your opponent's next turn. If this Pokemon is damaged by an attack, even if it's knocked out, put damage counters equal to the damage done. And unfortunately, this set has no dragon types. That is rough. Rough. I already see this. I don't even need to read this. 1 out of 5. Oh, baby, this is the one that I read about. Absolutely. Team Rocket's Meowth and Persian EX. Team Rocket's Meowth, Catnap, choose a random card from your opponent's hand. Your opponent reveals that card, shuffle in their deck, and I can do Wild Scratch and 20 for each heads I get out of 3 coins. But I want to talk about Persian EX. Arrogant Command. Reveal the top 10 cards of your opponent's deck. Choose one of those reveal Pokemon's attacks. What was that? What was that? Let me look over. Something fell. Something fell. I don't know what just happened. I don't know what you guys saw. Something fell. I don't know. That was strange. Something fall over there? I don't know. I'll check that in a minute. Okay, so where is it? Arrogant Command. Reveal the top 10 cards of your opponent's deck. You may choose one of the revealed Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack. Your opponent shuffles the other cards back into their deck. Oh, was that you? Was that you making that noise? My dog's lying down and starting to scratch. So I'm guessing that card gets shuffled back in as well, which is pretty cool. Cruel Slash, 140. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. I think this is really good. I want this to work. 260 is what I'm looking for. It's not 240 and it's not 280. 4.5 out of 5. I think it's going to be up there with Mewtwo. I said it. Come at me. Okay, so sorry. In my opinion, I love this kind of stuff that messes with your opponent's stuff that they can't mess around with. Like getting stuff in a discard that you can't mess around with. It's crazy. Kangaskhan, not good enough. Tauros, clean hit, 1 for 50. If your opponent's active Pokemon is evolution. Nope, not good. Hacking, discard a card from your hand. Then your opponent discards a card from your hand. Huh. Interesting. Team Rocket's Porygon 2. Our command, 20 damage. This does 20 for each supporter in your discard pile with Team Rocket's name in it. How many supporters have Team Rocket in their name? I know there's obviously going to be like Giovanni and like Archer. Those are the only ones I remember. Team Rocket's Porygon Z, Reconstitute. You must discard 2 cards in your hand in order to use this ability. If you do, you may draw a card. Our command does 20 for each of your opponents. Oh! Okay, yeah, so this is much better. Okay. So Reconstitute, you can draw a card and in order to discard 2. So this makes our command so much better. And Porygon 2 doesn't need as much energy. Okay. So we can just skip Porygon 2 and just throw Porygon Z in there. I like this. 4.01. I'm gonna do that. Tailo and Swellow. Nothing home to write about. Arvin, Squovent, and Greedent. So not that is an amazing art. I love that. Very nice. Before doing damage, discard all Pokemon tools from opponent's active. Nice. Greedy Order. When you play this Pokemon from your hand and evolve on your Pokemon during your turn, you may put up to 2 Arvin sandwiches from your discard. Nah, yeah. Trash. 1 out of 5. Squawkabilly. Not good enough. Arvin sandwich. Okay, we're into trainer cards now. We're almost done. And we're not gonna... We'll skim over the arts quickly, I suppose. Heal 30 damage from your active Pokemon. If that Pokemon is an Arvin's Pokemon, heal 100 instead. 1 out of 5. Arvin's Pokemon aren't really that good, I think. Cynthia's Power Weight. Oh, this Cynthia's Pokemon discard is actually gets 70 HP. What? MC. Okay, so we'll give that one a 4 out of 5. That's pretty good. MC's Hype. Draw 2 cards if your opponent's 3 of your Pokemon. Oh, okay. 3 out of 5. I don't think people are going to put it in there consistently, but someone could. Energy Recycler is back. It's back in rotation, boys. It's here. 5 energies from your discard pile back in your deck. That is amazing. Perfect. Perfect. Ethan's Adventure. Search your deck for 3 of any combination of Ethan's Pokemon and basic fire energy and put them in your hand. Then shuffle your deck. 5 out of 5. Energy Recycler. Welcome back. Ethan's Adventure. 5 out of 5. Amazing card. Granite Cave. Steven's Pokemon. Both yours and your opponents take 30 less damage from your attacks. We finally have a Judge back. That's nice. Judge each player's Pokemon shuffle. Or you know what it is. Sacred Ash. Shuffle up to 5 Pokemon from... Judge, always a 5 out of 5. Granite Cave. Sorry, I'm running out of breath from talking so much. I'm sorry. I'll give that a 4 out of 5. I mean, it's only for Stevens. Sacred Ash, that's pretty good. It's essentially a energy recycler, you know? Spikemouth Gym. Once during each player's turn, that player may search for Marnie's Pokemon reveal, put it in your hand, then shuffle their deck. Oh my god, alright, here we go. 5 out of 5 for Sacred Ash. I don't think people are going to use Marnie a lot, so I'm going to say 3 out of 5 to give the... Team Rocket's Archer. You play this card if you have any Team Rocket's Pokemon that were knocked out. You may draw 5 cards. Person drive 5, draws 3. Okay. Ariana. Draw until if all of your Pokemon play Team Rocket's draw until you have 8. Team Rocket's Factory. So supporters. There's 5 supporters. That's crazy. So you could have... Do 20 for each? If you have... Oh my god, that's 20 supporters. That's 400 damage. That's nuts. Okay, Team Rocket's Factory. Okay, that's pretty good. I say 4.5 out of 5 if we're talking Team Rocket, right? It doesn't matter for anything else, essentially. Team Rocket's Ariana. Drawn to 5 cards. Oh, yeah, I just read that. Also really good. 5 out of 5, actually. Team Rocket's Factory. Once during each player's turn, if that player with a supporter plays a support card on his turn, draw 2 cards. Also, a lot of draw power. A lot of draw power with Team Rocket. Giovanni, switch your active Team Rocket to the bench. If you do switch one, that's a free. That is a free Prime Catcher. That's nuts. 5 out of 5. Team Rocket's Great Ball. Flip a coin if head. Search your deck for evolution. Reveal it in your hand if tail. Search for a basic. That's 5 out of 5. Really, really good too. Team Rocket's Intruder Drone. 220 face down Pokemon. It's in a random cover. Oh! That's really cool. I like that a lot. That prize card remains face up the rest of the game. Aw, that's silly though. But okay, that's fine. Team Rocket's Receiver. Search your deck for a supporter card with Team Rocket in its name. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck. Team Rocket's Petrol. Search your deck for a trainer card. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck. Team Rocket's Proton. If you go first, you may search for 3 basic Rocket Nuts. All these rockets are getting 5 out of 5 so far. Even the intruder bot is really cool. Team Rocket's Venture Bomb. Flip a coin. If heads, put 2 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon. If tails, put 2 damage counters on your active Pokemon. I'm going to give that a 2 out of 5. It's risky. I wouldn't do it. Team Rocket's Watchtower. Plays Pokemon, color Pokemon have no abilities. So what would be a color Pokemon? Just a regular basic Pokemon that have no abilities. Was there something in this set? Because I know Persian doesn't have any abilities. Oh, yes! Now I know. Noctowl from Stellar Crown. Oh, that's amazing. Very, very nice. Technical Machine. Ooh, interesting. That's a 5 out of 5 right here for Watchtower. Sorry. TM Machine. I don't think it's very necessary. 2 out of 5. Team Rocket Energy. This card can only be attached to a Rocket's Pokemon. If it's attached to anything other than Rocket Pokemon, discard this card. As long as this card is attached to it, it provides 2 in any combination of Psychic and Dark Energy. Interesting. That is the end, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And if you guys do enjoy, as always, make sure to leave a like, hit subscribe. And if you want me to do more of this stuff in the future, when I take a look at the deck or the card lists of Pokemon for the set that's coming out, such as Destined Rivals, let me know, because this was actually kind of nice to do. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys later.